Some games manage to capture us in a special way, whether through emotional stories, addictive gameplay, or fascinating worlds that invite us to explore every detail. In this video, we've gathered the 20 best single-player games that deliver all that and much more. These are adventures that capture your attention from start to finish, with memorable moments that leave you wanting to play just a little more. Each game in this selection offers something unique, making them solid choices for anyone looking for immersive experiences full of quality. From open worlds full of possibilities to narratives that move you and stay with you long after the credits roll, these games prove that single-player experiences continue to be one of the greatest pleasures in the gaming universe. I'm Jax, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring daily content so you won't miss any details from the gaming world. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd really appreciate it. From one gamer to another, starting the list, we find one of the best superhero games ever made. Marvel's Spider-Man delivers a unique journey, mixing an engaging story with gameplay mechanics that set a new standard. The feeling of swinging through the skyscrapers of New York is so immersive, it almost feels real, with stunning graphics and a soundtrack that perfectly complements every movement. It's impossible not to lose track of time exploring such a vibrant city. The setting of New York stands out as a spectacle in itself. Every street is brimming with life, with NPCs interacting naturally and details that make you want to stop and watch. Side missions and challenges offer diversity without ever feeling repetitive, keeping the pace dynamic and full of surprises. The combat is fluid, with the ability to create amazing combos, making each battle a unique and exciting gameplay experience. If there's one thing that truly makes this game shine, it's the balance between narrative and gameplay. The story is emotional, with plot twists that keep you invested every second, while the action sequences deliver constant adrenaline. It's the kind of game that doesn't just entertain, but also leaves a lasting impression, leaving you with a sense of nostalgia once the credits roll. A must-play for any fan of quality games. Continuing, we have a true milestone in RPGs. The Witcher 3 is more than just a game. It's a vast world, with intertwined narratives that capture your attention from the very first moments. Every village, forest, or ruin holds secrets waiting to be uncovered, making exploration as engaging as the grand conflicts. It's hard not to get lost in the detailed landscapes or in dialogues that carry genuine emotional weight. The choices you make along the journey have a tangible and realistic impact, creating unexpected connections with the events in the world. It's not just about completing missions, but feeling part of something much bigger. The combat offers a challenge without ever feeling unfair, with each creature testing your skill and adaptability in different ways. Everything works in harmony to create memorable moments that stay with you even after you turn off the console. One of the greatest strengths of this game is how it handles even the smaller events. Side stories aren't just add-ons. They are true gems that bring drama, humor, or mystery. Discovering new tales scattered across the map feels like opening a book full of twists. It's amazing how every piece of the game feels alive and essential, reinforcing why it's considered one of the most acclaimed RPGs. In third place, we have a masterpiece that redefines immersion in games. Red Dead Redemption 2 transports the player to the Wild West with a level of detail that impresses at every moment. From the dust kicked up by horses to the small gestures of characters, everything feels alive, almost tangible. The narrative is a spectacle in itself, taking players through questions of loyalty, morality, and survival in tough times. The open world is undoubtedly one of the highlights. Dense forests, vast deserts, and cities full of character make up settings where every corner has something interesting to offer. Meeting strangers in the middle of nowhere or witnessing random events creates a sense of spontaneity that few games manage to replicate. Combat and missions are presented in a cinematic way, providing intense moments that alternate between exciting shootouts and more reflective moments. What truly elevates this journey is the attention given to every interaction, no matter how small. Small dialogues, NPC reactions, and how the environment responds to your actions create a genuine connection with the world presented. It's a story that not only entertains, but also leaves deep marks, as only the best games can. In fourth place, we have a series that masterfully balances delicacy and brutality. A Plague Tale places the player in a grim and desolate scenario, where every decision seems full of urgency. The contrast between moments of vulnerability and courage is palpable, making it impossible not to become emotionally invested in the events. It's a journey that grips you with its emotions and the intensity of each chapter. The settings, aside from being visually striking, are essential to the oppressive atmosphere surrounding each part of the story. Devastated streets, abandoned fields, and dark caves carry a weight that goes beyond visuals, conveying a sense of despair and struggle for survival. On top of that, the stealth mechanics require quick thinking and precision, turning each challenge into something rewarding. The most notable aspect is how the narrative intertwines with gameplay. Moments of pure tension are interspersed with moments of relief, but the sense of urgency never fully disappears. This construction keeps the player on constant alert, making every achievement even more satisfying. Without a doubt, one of the best games for those who appreciate intense and memorable stories. In fifth place, we have a reimagined classic that has won over both old and new generations. Final Fantasy VII Remake recreates one of the most iconic stories in RPGs with a modern touch, without losing the essence that made it a milestone. The visual quality is impressive, with environments that seem to pulse with life, while the combat system combines frenetic action and real-time strategy, creating a unique dynamic. The script stands out for how it deepens every aspect of the original plot. The world isn't just a backdrop. It's a living entity that reflects the consequences of each event, with dialogues that immerse the player in a narrative filled with emotion and meaning. The battles, in turn, are a spectacle in themselves, bringing mechanics that challenge without ever being frustrating, maintaining the perfect rhythm between tactics and action. The greatest triumph of this game is how it manages to be both nostalgic and innovative at the same time. New details have been added to enrich the experience, while iconic moments are recreated masterfully. It's a work that respects its legacy, but isn't afraid to take risks, delivering something memorable for everyone who ventures through its streets and conflicts. Moving up the list, we have a saga that redefined the concept of interactive storytelling in games. The Mass Effect series is more than just a sci-fi story. It's a deep exploration of choices and consequences. The setting, transitioning between alien civilizations and imposing spaceships, creates an impressive immersion. Every conversation and decision directly influences the plot's course, generating an impact that echoes throughout the chapters. The balance between action and reflective moments is one of the series' strongest trademarks. Armed conflicts, strategically challenging, alternate with scenes that dive into ethical and emotional dilemmas. The variety of places visited, from lush planets to claustrophobic space station corridors, makes every mission unique. The dynamic combat, alongside customizable abilities, keeps the battles engaging without falling into repetition. What makes this series special is how it creates genuine bonds with the events. It's not just about defeating enemies or achieving objectives. It's about living in a universe so carefully built that it feels tangible. It's an adventure that stays with you, both for the epic moments and the tough decisions that shape the direction of the story. Next, we have a work that blends narrative and atmosphere like few others. The Bioshock series is not just a sequence of stories. It's an immersion into complex universes where aesthetics and philosophy intertwine in a unique way. Each setting, whether in the depths of Rapture or the heights of Columbia, conveys a sense of awe and unease. This duality is what makes the series so impactful. The combat system is creative and stands out for offering freedom to the player. Using special abilities in combination with traditional weapons turns the confrontations into moments of pure strategy. Interaction with the environment adds an interesting dynamism, making each encounter unpredictable. The way the plot elements are revealed, through diaries and visual details, keeps the player alert to every corner of the setting. The greatest brilliance of this series lies in how it challenges the player's perceptions. Ethical and philosophical questions are intertwined with the action, creating moments of reflection that go beyond the screen. It's an unforgettable journey, marked by twists and surprises that elevate the genre to new heights. A game that leaves deep marks for those who seek more than just simple entertainment. In 8th place, we have a game that redefines the survival genre in devastated worlds. Metro Exodus delivers a journey that blends tension with breathtaking landscapes, creating a rare balance between narrative and exploration. Each setting, from barren deserts to dense forests, carries its own story, unfolding as the player progresses. It's a work that knows how to use silence and darkness to create moments of pure immersion. The survival challenges are one of the game's highlights. Carefully managing resources and the need to plan every movement make each decision meaningful. Facing enemies, whether humans or creatures, requires not only skill but also strategy, especially when ammunition is scarce and the environment doesn't allow many mistakes. All of this keeps the player on high alert, constantly adapting their playstyle. What makes this game so remarkable is the feeling of being in a world that remains alive, even amid chaos. Small details, such as interactions with characters and changing weather, reinforce the depth of the journey. It's a narrative that unfolds both in the setting and in the choices, showing how games can create memorable and immersive worlds. In 9th place, we have a game that plunges the player into a colossal battle against relentless forces. Space Marine 2 raises the level of intensity by offering action-packed combat in grand settings. The brutality of the fights combines with the epic scale of the wars fought, where every confrontation feels bigger than the last. It's a gameplay experience where strategy and skill go hand in hand, requiring total focus. The gameplay is marked by fluidity and impact. Each hit or shot comes with a sense of weight, reinforcing the brutality of the battles. The design of the enemies impresses with its variety and how they challenge the player to adapt their tactics. At the same time, the settings alternate between chaotic battlefields and environments that bring a constant sense of threat, maintaining the tension at all times. The most memorable point is how the game balances frenetic action with a plot that captures attention. The narrative doesn't just complement the combat. It also provides context to the missions and motivations that drive each step. It's a powerful demonstration of how an action-focused game can also deliver memorable moments, both in visuals and in story. In 10th place, we have a game that stands out for its bold approach to building a narrative full of meaningful choices and unexpected consequences. Cyberpunk 2077 goes beyond the ordinary by exploring ethical and personal dilemmas, connecting the player to stories that challenge the concept of right and wrong. The way the plot is presented, through impactful dialogues and twists, keeps the attention and surprises at crucial moments. One of the game's biggest highlights is the freedom it offers to the player. From combat approaches to mission interactions, everything can be customized to suit your preferred playstyle. The evolution systems and available skills offer strategic variety, while the choices made throughout the campaign significantly shape the unfolding of events. What truly impresses is the depth with which the game tackles themes like identity and power. The side stories and well-crafted dialogues make every interaction meaningful, giving weight to each decision. The balance between action and narrative creates moments that stay with you, showing how the game genre can innovate. In 11th place, we have a game that impresses with its visual impact. Black Myth. Wukong elevates the graphical quality with environments and creatures that seem to come straight out of a work of art. from vibrant forests to dark landscapes. Every detail is meticulously crafted, creating a world that is as beautiful as it is intimidating. The realistic lighting and rich textures make it impossible not to be awestruck by every new setting. Another striking point is how the graphics enhance the combat. The movements flow naturally, and the visual effects of the abilities turn every fight into a visual spectacle. Even the enemies, with their intricate designs, come to life thanks to the attention to detail. This care creates an immersion rarely seen, where every strike and reaction feels tangible. What makes this work even more fascinating is how it combines cutting-edge technology with bold artistic direction. It's not just about realism, it's about capturing the essence of the legends that inspired it. It's an example of how visuals can elevate the entire gaming experience, leaving a lasting mark on the player's memory. In 12th place, we have a reimagined classic that retains its terrifying essence while taking its presentation to new heights. Silent Hill 2 Remake stands out for its oppressive atmosphere, with graphics that capture every detail of the eerie, dark landscapes. The use of lighting and shadows helps create settings that are as realistic as they are disturbing, transporting the player to a visually terrifying world. The way psychological horror is handled is one of the game's major merits. The environments aren't just spaces to explore, but extensions of the narrative, with every corner conveying a sense of mystery and discomfort. The enemies, meticulously redesigned, challenge both through their appearance and the unpredictability of their attacks, maintaining tension with every step. Few works manage to capture the emotional weight this remake brings. Between anguishing silences and devastating revelations, every moment feels carefully crafted to leave a mark. This new version respects the legacy of the original while adding visual and auditory layers that intensify the impact of its narrative. In 13th place, we have one of the most anticipated remakes of recent times. Resident Evil 4 Remake brings back a milestone in action and horror games, with updated graphics that elevate the tension in every detail. The realistic textures, lighting effects, and meticulously rebuilt environments create an immersive atmosphere, where every corner hides a new danger. The balance between action and suspense is what keeps the pace engaging. Intense confrontations challenge the player to use resources wisely, while the updated mechanics add more fluidity and dynamism to the combat. The presence of renewed enemies, more agile and unpredictable, increases the urgency in every moment, especially in the most iconic sequences. What makes this new version so captivating is the attention given to the narrative and the details that expand the depth of the plot. The updates not only modernize the game, but also offer new angles for a story that has marked generations. It's a remake designed to impress both longtime fans and new players, solidifying the impact of this game in the action and survival genre. In 14th place, we have a game that translates chaos and survival into a pure adrenaline experience. Mad Max delivers a brutal, desert world where every piece of rusted metal tells a story of desolation. Vehicle building is one of the high points, allowing for customizations ranging from performance improvements to weapons that turn any chase into a fierce battle. The hand-to-hand combat stands out for its intensity, with mechanics favoring precise and strategic attacks. Facing gangs in forgotten ruins or ambushes in the open air keeps the tension always present. Dynamic sandstorms and vast horizons create an unpredictable environment, constantly challenging the player to adapt. What truly grabs your attention is the authenticity of the world. Each area explores different aspects of this barren land, from hostile territories filled with enemies to refuges offering moments of relief. It's a journey of resilience and strength, where each victory feels unique, cementing its place as one of the most memorable games set in post-apocalyptic scenarios. In 15th place, we find a masterpiece that combines narrative and gameplay in an unmatched way. The Last of Us presents a story full of emotion, driven by impactful dialogues and moments that stay etched in your memory. The tension is crafted masterfully as the player navigates devastated environments that reveal the fight for survival in every detail. The combat dynamics are marked by the strategic use of limited resources, where every confrontation can be decisive. Stealthily infiltrating hostile areas or facing hordes of enemies requires planning and improvisation, creating a constant sense of urgency. The contrast between the brutality of the battles and the rare moments of calm brings a balance that keeps the narrative always engaging. Few games manage to capture the human side of a ruined world with such intensity. The interactions between characters are genuine, filled with nuances, bringing life to a plot that goes far beyond the surface. Every scene feels crafted to resonate with the player, turning each chapter into something memorable and impactful. In 16th place, we have a game that redefines the action genre with a challenging and deeply rewarding approach. Sekiro combines intense combat with a precise parry system, where each confrontation becomes a dance between life and death. Mastery of the controls is essential, and each victory carries the weight of a genuine effort, leaving a sense of accomplishment that few games can provide. The design of the environments impresses with its verticality and intricate beauty. Scaling ancient structures, exploring mysterious forests, and crossing abandoned villages all bring a sense of adventure that permeates every step. The challenges go beyond enemies. The environment itself hides secrets and traps, requiring constant attention. Progression is marked by choices that impact both gameplay and how the story unfolds. What sets this game apart is how it demands commitment from the player. There are no easy shortcuts or obvious answers, only dedication and skill to overcome each obstacle. This unique approach not only challenges but also rewards, creating moments of pure ecstasy with each new accomplishment. It's a work that honors patience and persistence from those brave enough to face its challenges. In 17th place, we have a true colossus that redefined what it means to explore open worlds in games. Elden Ring is a work that mixes vastness and mystery in an almost hypnotic way. Right from the first minutes, freedom is palpable, inviting the player to explore every corner of a rich and dangerous world where everything seems to have a hidden story. With every step, you encounter relentless enemies, but also breathtaking landscapes, making it impossible not to wonder what lies beyond the horizon. The combat is a show in itself, a true test of skill and strategy. Every encounter requires attention to the smallest details, turning ordinary battles into true events. Whether facing colossal creatures or dealing with ambushes in dark caves, there's always the feeling that the next move could be decisive. Progression is built organically, encouraging the player to learn from their mistakes and constantly improve. One of the game's greatest triumphs is how it draws the player into its narrative without relying on obvious explanations. The clues are in the environment, the unexpected encounters, and the fragments of stories you piece together yourself. It's gameplay that blends challenge and immersion, creating unforgettable moments and always leaving you with the desire to explore more. Next, we have Dragon Age: Inquisition, a game that immerses the player in a vibrant fantasy universe full of choices that really matter. From the very first moments, the grandeur of the landscapes impresses, with vast and varied terrains that beg to be explored. Every detail helps create the feeling that you're in a living world, where your actions can shape the fate of entire kingdoms. It's a journey that balances intense battles with rich dialogues, creating an interactive narrative that keeps you hooked from beginning to end. The combat offers a mix of strategy and action, allowing both quick attacks and careful planning. Imagine being surrounded by enemies on challenging terrain, where positioning your team can make the difference between victory and failure. The diversity of abilities makes each confrontation unique, encouraging creative approaches and the smart use of available resources. The sense of progression is rewarding, with abilities that make your team stronger and more adaptable to the growing challenges. Another highlight is the choices, which never feel like black and white. Every decision carries real weight, with consequences that reflect in future missions or even in your relationships with other characters. This depth turns every moment in the game into something meaningful, reinforcing the idea that you're more than a spectator. You're actively shaping the course of the story. In 19th place, Hogwarts Legacy presents a magical experience that enchants with its rich details and immersive atmosphere. From the very first steps, players are immersed in a vibrant universe where every setting holds fascinating secrets. The world building is so well done that it explores everything from grand halls to mysterious corridors, creating a perfect balance between nostalgia and novelty. Combat is a standout feature, offering quick and creative duels with spells that require skill and timing. Each encounter challenges players in unique ways, whether facing dangerous creatures or solving situations that demand varied strategies. The freedom to personalize your journey adds even more depth, making every choice significant to the shaping of your story. The world around you comes to life with subtle interactions, hidden puzzles, and moments that reward curiosity. Every discovery, no matter how small, contributes to a constant sense of progress and engagement. This attention to detail creates a captivating universe that invites you to explore every corner, always leaving the impression that something new awaits. Continuing, Shadow of Mordor takes us on a dark journey that redefined open-world action games. With its fluid and acclaimed combat system, this game stands out by introducing innovative mechanics that make every confrontation memorable. The game's big differentiator is the Nemesis system, which gives enemies unique personalities and stories, turning every victory or defeat into part of an emerging narrative that unfolds as you progress. Beyond the electrifying battles, the game impresses with its detailed and challenging world. Filled with enemy fortresses and treacherous terrain, it forces the player to think strategically when deciding how to approach each mission. Whether infiltrating to eliminate a specific target or facing an entire army, the possibilities are vast and adaptable to each player's style. It's fascinating how every element seems designed to strengthen the connection to the Lord of the Rings universe. The missions not only entertain, but also deepen the relationship with the lore, revealing secrets or events that surprise and spark curiosity. All of this makes each step feel meaningful, capturing attention irresistibly. And you, which of these games have you had the chance to play? Did any of them leave a lasting mark on your journey as a gamer? We'd love to know which one is your favorite from the list, and more importantly, what's the last game you finished and considered a true masterpiece? Share in the comments. Your opinion could inspire someone to embark on a new adventure. The last game I finished was Days Gone, and I thought it was amazing. Highly recommend the gameplay. Go ahead and subscribe to the Play Hunters channel now. That way, you'll stay on top of everything happening in the gaming world, discover new games, and never miss a new release. Join our community and share your passion for the world of gaming. I've linked a list of 20 games worth every second with the controller in hand. Just click to watch. Big hug, enjoy your gameplay, and see you tomorrow.